I would like to invite Dr. Suvit Vipunthon Prasert, who is the one who initiated the work on trade and health at the Ministry of Public Health, to give his final word. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chem. My dear ambassador, we knew each other for more than 20 years, believe it or not. I keep my word anyway. And colleagues from WTO, WHO, WIPO, and other colleagues, I see the conclusion very, very crucial. And it tells the story of how this movement in Thailand evolved. The international trade and health in Thailand was inspired by WHO. Usually the WHO never inspires us in a good way, but this one is a good one. The man who inspired us named Dr. Nick Draker. He's a Canadian. He had the Trade and Health Unit in headquarters of the WHO. It was, by now, I think it should be considered abolished or doing nothing now. But at least his work then, back in late 1990s, inspired us, and we started this. With difficult paradigms. The trade side look at health as commodity and try to make health as commodity to trade, to improve economy. The health side look at trade as troublemaker. They create trouble to us. They bring bad goods, products, and also IP regimes, which makes our drug and medical device, everything more expensive. Gradually, we understand each other when you continue to talk. The health side start to understand that without international trade, Thailand would not have universal health coverage. Impossible. Because our economy depends on export, international trade. Local consumption is less than 1/3 of the economy. If you don't have good international trade, you will not have that enough budget. The budget will be very small. I mean the public budget, to go for universal health coverage. At the same time, we have to negotiate with a trade partner. Hey, please be gentle to us. Please understand that we don't want to pay high price drug. Next 2 days, I'll meet with the multinational president to discuss. They have so many offers. Most of them are cancer drugs. Very high price. Extend life for just a few months. And with strong IP regime. How can we learn from the trade partner, our trade people, to negotiate with them? These are paradigms that we gradually shift, and we are now get much closer to each other and understand each other. If you look at the organization up there, NCIT, National Center for International Trade and Health. This national committee, this committee is established by the Prime Minister, not the Minister of Health. This Prime Minister order, the Prime Minister signed the order to establish it. So far, we have only 2 chairs. First is a lady. Second is a gentleman. Both are from private sector. Both are from private sector. And the 2 chairs can gradually harness or build trust among partners, academia, NGO, industry, Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now we can talk to each other in a more friendly manner. I talk to many of my friends who are from developed country in the health sector. And I told them the story of how we, health and the trade sector, work closely together. When the trade sector discuss free trade agreement with anyone, there's a consultation. They consult us. And sometimes, most of the time now, Ministry of Trade even consult the NGO. Even consult the NGO. My friends was so surprised. How come that happened? In my country, the trade sector never consult us. They go negotiate by themselves. This is the paradigm shift that we must create a constructive environment among different sectors with the same goal for improved economy, fairer economy to benefit the public. And you ask the question, what's next? A few of our colleagues already mentioned. I don't know whether there is other international conference on international trade and health. Manisha, you must know. No, right? And this international conference, which we have done, has lasted for how many years? 9 years. 9 years. We support funding from everywhere under the auspice of the NCIT. This is a national committee appointed by the Prime Minister. How can we move to have this committee? Each country must have its own context, political context, to create such a national mechanism as a forum for constructive discussion, evidence-based, sharing of information. When our industry and trade partner in Thailand see the data, real data, they feel concerned. When we, in the health sector and NGO, see that data, how our international trade is declining and affect our economy, we are also concerned. How can health sector propose to the trade partner, to the trade Ministry of Trade, hey, why don't you negotiate this in the FTA? This can increase the trade on health. How can health sector accept that health can be a service and commodity that can be traded? Carefully, of course. Not totally untradable. And how can the trade partner understand that they have to be careful when they promote the trade on health services? One of the big targets of our government is to make Thailand an medical hub of Asia. There are now more than, before COVID, more than 3 million patients, non-Thai. These are people who come, who rich enough to pay, excluding those who just cross the border or migrant workers. Those are maybe 4 or 5 million, but they don't have much money to pay. These are international demand for health services. It can be income generation. It can be a burden to us. Luckily, we have built up a strong healthcare system. We produce 3,000 new medical graduates each year, while our population this year will be reduced by 200,000. The reduction of population increased production of doctors. We have enough to share. Why don't we make use of it? At the same time, ensure universal health coverage. These are the challenges. And this conference can help share the experience of other countries around the world. So the way forward is to use this conference, as you mentioned. In between the conference, what we should do. During the conference, what we should do. How can we, ITH, become like PMAC? They don't have any problem with funding. They do it every year, for 17 years now. Maybe we can be a side meeting with them like this. We don't need big audience. We don't need 1,000 audience. 200-300 is enough. Key person from country to share their experience and gradually build the world closer. I just read what Bill Gates just mentioned. People have quite negative prospect for the future, climate change, geopolitics, whatever. But Bill Gates is positive. He said, technology will help change everything. It will help solve all the problem. I don't believe him that much. That's why we propose for the next 2 years. PMAC always prepare 2 years in advance. Technology development and global health, which international trade will have huge role to play. Huge role to play. Of course, technology will help the world better. But how can we make it better and fair? Not better only just for the rich, but better for all. And this fall into the hand of health and the trade sector together. We have to work together. If we feel bad to each other, we go nowhere. We spend time fighting. So I'm sure that with the spirit of Nick Draker, haven't met him for maybe almost 10 years. Whoever in this room has a connection to him, please tell him that we appreciate him so much, that he inspired us to start this. And we have a few PhD graduate on international trade and health who understand, and we have a researcher who do some research. Not enough, but will continue. And we have friends from WHO. We have friends from WTO. We have ambassador who understand us deeply because she worked with us for more than 20 years. From not understand us at all. Now I'm sure that she understands us a lot. Although she cannot comply with everything that health sector want. But she understands our need. Ministry of Foreign Affairs now understand us very much. In the negotiation of the UN General Assembly, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the permanent mission there, got the instruction of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to protect trip flexibility like hell. In all UN GA resolution, Thailand is the forefront country that protect trip flexibility. I hope you understand trip flexibility. We don't want trip plus. This is the success of working together. And in summary, the future is collaboration, connection, based on trust. Based on trust. Trust is most important. And trust is equal to reliability. When your friend needs you, you are there. Plus credibility. When you commit to your friend, you deliver. Plus intimacy. We meet at least once a year. I haven't met ambassador for more than 10 years. More than 10 years. Now she got married and more beautiful, more charming than before. Actually, I traveled to Geneva many times, but I never have a chance because we travel to the health meeting, not the trade meeting. Anyway. Next week I'll go there. Yeah. Anyway, trust equal reliability plus credibility plus intimacy meet often, and divided by self-interest. The trade sector, people like Kun Sampan, who is from multinational company, but he has strong public interest. Of course, he has self-interest for his company, of course. But in overall, public interest comes first. If you have zero self-interest, how big will be your trust? People trust on you. Infinity, right? Anything divided by zero is infinite. So if we work based on this, I'm sure that the world will be better with not our conference, The conference is just a forum, but the way that we work together before and after the conference to build trust among all sectors, NGO, private sector, whoever that own this small planet, the only planet that has living creatures in the whole cosmos, so as far as we know. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, to join this, and I give it back to this is another PhD who work on international trade and health since the early days, before she got married and have that baby, that girl.
Thank you, Dr. Sweet. And I forgot to mention my appreciation to the repertorying team who has made the summary possible. Anyway, the coffee break is still there. Before we close, may I invite Dr. Samphan, the chair of the NCIT, to formally close the conference, please.
Well, I think I got two messages to close it. I think number one, I'd like to thank Dr. Shaem and the whole team. I think we need to give a big hand to the team. And we also like to thank all the distinguished speakers, the moderators, and all the participants. The message number two is, at the starting on yesterday, we're talking about how to make sure the people can access to the healthcare resources fairly. And now, from what we have learned from these 2 days, we got more challenge on the recession, geopolitics to add on to be the headwind for our team to against with. And I like the attitude of the people. I see a lot of the trust level of the group of the people here and the very strong partnership among the team here. I like your suggestion, post-conference, what we need to do. I think we see 5 or 6 points from Dr. Shaem conclusion, plus Dr. Sweet add on some of the keywords that we need to carry on. As a part of the team of INSIST, we will promise you we will carry what we have learned from the past 2 days to make it more meaningful to the human. Thank you.
So thank you to everyone again. A coffee break is waiting for you. And well, I'm speechless. So we look forward to having more discussion with you until the next conference, because the momentum has to be keep on going, and also taking the advice from review and other speakers. So enjoy your stay for the rest of the trip in Bangkok, and also for those who are in Thailand, have a safe trip home through the traffic. And thank you. And for the speakers who are joining us for thank you dinner, we are moving from here, maybe at 5 o'clock together, so that we can have an early start. Then in the same building, we are going to the Central World Shopping Center. So we walk together from here. We should meet at the restaurant by 5:30, so that Dr. Sweet, Senior Dr. Sweet, and Junior Dr. Sweet can have some time to join us before they move on to other appointment.
Both handsome Dr. Sweet.
Yes. Thank you. So we meet at the restaurant at 5:30, or we walk from here. Can we have photo, please? If you are not in a hurry, can we have group photo? A group photo, please.
ขึ้นข้างบนเลยครับขึ้นข้างบน